Alrighty guys, what is going on? Welcome back to the Best Investing Money Management channel on YouTube. In today's video, we are going to be talking about the top stocks that I am buying right now. Now, I hope you guys enjoy it. If you guys get anything in value out of this video, make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions, concerns, make sure you guys ask them down below. And if you want to learn more about investing in the market, I just dropped the price from $99 all the way to $15 for my course. Only valid for this week, so make sure you guys go check that out. So kind of what's going on in the market. Now, over the past couple of weeks, we've seen so much volatility just with the general market, right? If you actually look at the S&P 500, over the past, pretty much since the new year, we've seen this downward trend in the market. And a lot of analysts and a lot of people are freaking out saying that we're due for a crash, a crash is coming. Now, realistically, I definitely think a crash is something that is going to be a little more rare, I guess, so to speak, just because on average they happen about every 4 to 6 years. But one thing you have to realize too is what leads crashes is very high inflation and very high oil prices. Oil has that huge correlation to market recessions. And given that we've seen very, very high oil prices, a lot of people are freaking out. So the biggest thing right now is if you're going to invest, go into it with a strategy, a game plan, so you kind of know what you're doing. So the very first thing I always think is the great investment is when something sells off is the general market. SPY, the S&P 500 brings so much opportunity for beginners that are trying to invest. Don't want to pick up shares at this super high price point. Right now it's $420. I think a good strategy for this would be dollar cost averaging, right? Yes, we've seen this sell off, and I definitely think it's a lot easier to make money when we have that trend in your direction. But if you have that long-term mindset, you will be all right. The reason why I say that is because if you'd have bought in 2008, that's at that peak bottom. If you'd have bought in 2020 in the March crash, you're buying at peak bottom. So as long as you're dollar cost averaging, being very consistent with your investments, I definitely think using the volatility of the market can bring so much opportunity for sure. Now, the second stock that I want to look at here is Tesla. Now, Tesla, as you guys can see, has a lot of sell-off, right? It does have some basic resistance up here at about 1100 and super heavy support down here at 817 all the way down to about this $700 mark right here. Given that it fell below that support, anything under in this range represents such a good opportunity because you're buying at a support line. You're buying into a company that's done very, very well. Looking at their past earnings, they've done very well. The only thing that Tesla has struggled with is production issues, not anything else, production. And this is due to kind of everything going on in the economy, just having a hard time getting parts. Very similar to Ford, GM, Chrysler, all these other electric vehicle or all these auto companies are having these same problems. But Tesla is more than that, auto company. They make Tesla Solar. They're heavily invested in AI technology, the metaverse, and a whole bunch of other things that carry a lot of potential. I really think in the next 2 to 3, 5 years, we're going to be wishing we bought a couple of shares under that $1,000 price point for Tesla. So for me, it's just an absolute no-brainer. The next one here is AAPL, Apple. Okay, Apple is just a massive company, and one thing you have to realize too is given that Apple is such a powerhouse, right? You have to understand their support and resistance, right? It does have some resistance up here at about 180. Okay, that's clear and steady, right? We could even drop it down to pretty much just 175 mark right in this range because you guys can see it does have resistance as well here. So you guys can see we'll just go, and the resistance would be anything about 177 and up. Support, on the other hand, you guys can see we did have this dip down in here. So we'll call it anything under 156. And given the stock's 154, we had that 90 moving average line, or that 200 moving average line, creeping up. For me, 154 price point is a great opportunity to pick up this stock, right? You get that 22 cents every quarter. It's done very, very well in the past earnings. I definitely think looking back in a couple of years, we're going to be wishing we bought a couple of shares. It's $30 off its highs. It's just a solid pick for 2022. The next one here is definitely high risk, high reward. Okay, that's one thing you have to realize is NEO. Ticker symbol NIO. I understand that this one brings a lot of volatility, and yes, right. If we look at this chart, you can see we've seen that general sell-off, but I definitely think this is the Tesla of China. Definitely 100% more of a higher risk, higher reward play. Given the stocks right now at some old resistance, this is now going to start acting as some support. So I definitely think we'll see some consolidation start stepping in. And for me, this is just a solid pick for underneath $20 a share. Definitely more higher risk, higher reward play for sure, but still brings, a ton of opportunity. Another pick, if you guys are heavily invested in tech, would be QQQ. We've seen a lot of sell-off, as you guys can see. This is one, this is an ETF that tracks Apple, Amazon, Microsoft, NVIDIA, a whole bunch of technology companies. And you guys can see it's $324. It's like buying this, February of 2021, about a year ago. So for me, great opportunity, pick up a couple of shares at a very solid price. But a good strategy for all of them would be dollar cost averaging, figuring out a good investment, just be consistent. And that's the biggest thing, right? If you want to get muscles or lose weight, you can't go to the gym once, right? You got to be consistent and go every so often, right? Every week, every 2 times a week. Investing's the same thing. As long as you're consistent with your investments, you'll be all right. So guys, that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll see you guys later. Remember to stay happy, stay positive, and stay safe out there. Take care.